What's good, man?
Yo, what's good?
Nothing much, nothing much. As you can see, they were in here going nuts for you to show up. They all they want to talk about is you. Okay, so let's start from the top. Kind of, tell us your story. I know first you were making beats and stuff like that, but how did you even before that? How did you even like want to make music at all? How did that start?
How I really want to start making music. Not my older brother had moved in with us, and he used to rap, and like we was never really like, you know what I'm saying? I never really got to kick it with him because we lived in different houses and shit. So
Right.
When he came over, I was like, oh, I'm gonna start making music with him. I'm gonna start, you know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna get close. So that's when I started learning how to make beats, and then he ended up moving back, and it was like, well, now I know how to do it for nothing, but it's like I'm gonna just keep doing it. So that's really how it kicked off.
How old were you when you first started?
I was 11. I was 11 when I first started, like probably turning 12.
That's crazy. Because what app were you using? Because all those programs are kind of difficult at the time.
Yo, I'm old. Nobody know my age, but I'm old. But I was using a program called Mixcraft.
Okay.
And that's how I started. I downloaded that. I think I had like the light version or demo version or something. So I couldn't even really do much, but it was it worked, you know what I'm saying? It taught me like the little basics. So I was like, it's whatever.
Right. So so you learn your way around Mixcraft because using it as a way to kind of build a relationship with your older brother. And he moves back. You said, all right, I'm gonna keep going. So at this point when you decide to keep going, who are you producing for? Like who are you like making songs with?
Nobody. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm just in my room just like making beats, like just to listen to. Cause I was 13 when he moved back. So like I didn't even really know like how to sell a beat, how much to charge for a beat. I didn't know none of that. Like I wasn't even worried about that. I was just a kid just making beats. So I just kept doing it, and then in high school I had met this dude at orientation. It was the only dude that talked to me. His name Donovan. And he was a singer. He kind of pushed me to like, okay, maybe I should keep doing it even now, because I kind of was stopping, but I kept doing it, and then when I graduated, that's when I started selling beats.
Okay, so you graduate, you're selling beats now, right? How did you end up rapping? How does that start?
I started rapping because of Summers in Texaco, because I was producing for them, and then we had a little group chat. We would just like send out unreleased and stuff, and we would just kind of like, oh yeah, this is hard. Oh, do this, you know what I'm saying, type shit. And they was like, bro, why you don't just start rapping? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, nah, you should start rapping. And I was like, I should, cause y'all going up felt like way faster than me. And I was like, I don't even know like what I would call myself. And I was just like, well, I'm gonna just be Autumn. Like I didn't even think about it. Like Summers was like, bro, just pick anything. I was like, I'm gonna be Autumn. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about the correlation between Autumn and Summer. Like I didn't even think about that. I was just like, I'm gonna just be Autumn, and it just worked. So I was like,
no, that's crazy. So like you had before that moment, right? You never thought about rapping.
Nah, when I first started making beats with my older brother, I was real good at like vocabulary and stuff. So I would kind of help him write raps, but I would never really rap myself. But he kind of made me do that. He kind of like pushed me to do that too. So I started to write, but I definitely gave that up when I was younger. Like I did that for like 2 months. I was like, nah, I can't do this. But nah, like after I met Summers, like being that we was from the same place, like I could go to his crib and watch him record, and then I could do it myself. It was like, all right, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of just slowly got into it more.
Right. Oh, and for the people who may not know, you're from Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
So kind of, I know, like, the rap scene is kind of like segmented because there's so many different styles within like the state and kind of what y'all have going on. So kind of you are unique in your own way. Like nobody else is really making the kind of the stuff you're making from out there. So kind of what was that like to like kind of stick to what you wanted to do and kind of not get like affected by what was going on around you?
I ain't gonna lie to you. Growing up, I didn't listen to no Louisiana artists. I didn't listen to Boosie. I didn't listen to Webby. I ain't listen to like only people I really listened to was Hot Boys. That was really it. Like old Lil Wayne, Hot Boys, Big Timers. You know what I'm saying? Manny Fresh, like that real like OG Louisiana like 90s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like when I was growing up, my older brother used to listen to Boosie, Webby. You know what I'm saying? Like he used to listen to that. And at the time, I was only listening to like R&B and like 80s pop music and stuff. Like I was a weird kid. I don't care. But all that stuff, like it helped me now. You feel me? But
Right.
I wasn't listening to no hip hop. Like I didn't know nothing about no hip hop. And then, I think the first rapper I really started to like was Drake. It was Drake. I used to tell my dad like, bro, Drake gonna be the biggest rapper ever. And look at him now. But that's kind of how that went. But no, I didn't really listen to rap. But now I kind of appreciate, like, now that I'm older, I go back and I listen and I appreciate like how different we are. You feel me? Like Louisiana has its own sound.
Right.
And I've been kind of incorporating like my new stuff that I ain't put out yet. I've been incorporating that into my sound. And it's like, it's hard. Like it's some of the hardest music I've ever made. At least to me it is. So it's like me not really knowing like who to listen to, and I didn't listen to it. It was really no way for me to kind of like implement it into my sound.
Right.
So, you know, and I like the whole like plug and B stuff, like the R, like, cause I was only listening to R&B. So I was like, well, this sounds like R&B with like hip hop drums. So it's like, so I can G with it.
Right. Okay. So you start rapping and you said it just worked. Was there what was that song that like really, in your opinion, like kind of like broke you through, that made you go, okay, I have something now, I can keep doing this?
Oh, I gotta expose myself. Don't go look up these songs, bro. Don't go look them up. But nah, I didn't know nothing about auto-tune back then. I don't even care. It's whatever. But now the first one that really like kind of took off, I think it was called Know How I Do. And then after that it was like Bye Bye Bye. And then what was the one after that? I can't remember. Oh, y'all can go listen to this one. This one was called Oh Well So What. Me and Summers, Oh Well So What. That was the hard one. Like those were the songs that really kind of like really kicked it off.
Right. And I mean, and I totally get you being like, don't look the songs up. You know they're gonna look them up, but like,
I know y'all gonna look them up.
Right.
Don't send it to me. Don't post no reaction. Don't make no autumn now. Don't make no video. Leave it. Just leave it. Don't post it. Don't do it.
So okay, so and kind of the way that you framed it, obviously it happened kind of fast. Like once you started rapping, it started kind of moving quickly, and people started to get it.
Yeah, it was like that first year or so. It's kind of dark in here. That first year or so, it was kind of like, it was fast. Like looking back, it was fast, but it seemed kind of slow. But like that second year, it was like, okay, like I'm kind of good at this. And then the third year was like, all right, like I do this for a living now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it really kicked off. But I mean, I think that's kind of fast. Like, no disrespect, but I know people who've been rapping for like a long time. Like I got cousins back home who like, they kind of famous back home, but it didn't really pick up traction nowhere else. For me, like I feel like that's kind of a curse. Like when you stick to the sound of your state, or you know what I'm saying, like wherever you're from, like if you stick to that one sound, you never really get to showcase how good of an artist you are. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be far like in this one section instead of like, oh, I make this and this and this, and you know everybody around the world can listen to it. But like, I mean, I guess it's a good thing I ain't really listen to a lot of Louisiana music, because I probably would end up rapping like Young Boy. Like I probably would have been signing Young Boy right now. I ain't gonna hold you.
Right. Now that makes a lot of sense. So at any point were you like wondering, were you ever like concerned that people wouldn't like take you seriously as a rapper because they
All the time.
making beats?
All the time. I never thought nobody would take me serious, because it was, at the time, bro. At the time, that's when a lot of rappers was like they was really pushing the agenda. Like, yo, if you're a producer, stick to making beats. Like, lead and rapping to the rappers. Like, and I'm young. I don't really care about that. So I was like, I'm gonna just do it. You know what I'm saying? It worked. Like, but
Right.
I didn't think people would take it serious just because of like the sound. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a hip hop feel. It's like hip hop lyrics with a R&B feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm already light skinned. Like, I'm like, bro, nobody about to take me serious. Like, nobody about to take me serious. But like, I don't know. It kind of worked. Like, I don't know. We just made it work. I
Right.
can't even, I can't even call it, but we just made it work.
Right. Right. Okay, so of course I was gonna ask about this, but they kept bringing it up in the comments. Um, Still the same, huge
Yeah.
song. Tell us about kind of you making it and kind of when you realize, all right, I really got one.
So when I was making that song, I had made the beat, and then I made the song, obviously. But uh, the crazy part is the whole thing that inspired the beat. Shout out to Pierre. Like you don't even realize you inspired the whole beat. Like that little lead I got in the song, that was inspired. I think it's off TLOP4. Um, it's like his song How High. I think it's like the little vocals right before the beat drop. It was stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It was stuck in my head, and I just picked some random chords, and then I made sure I put that in there as a lead, and then like the 808 is an 808 that I never used the 808, so I was like, all right, let me try this. I was like, yeah, and then when I got to the end, I didn't really intend for the piano to be at the end. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was never the intention. But when I be like when I be picking my chords for my songs, I always start off with a piano, cause that's like it's like for me it's like the best way for me to hear like, okay, this gonna sound good with a synth or whatever. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So I had it already, and I chopped it up a little bit, and then I left it. I was like, dang, I could really talk my shit at the end of this if I want to, and that's how that happened. But it wasn't even supposed to end like that. Like that part, I accidentally had left it, and then I just chopped it. And I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna just use this as an ending because I
Mm-hmm.
like having songs that like start off one way and then they end another way. Like I kind of like
Right.
that.
Um, when you put it out, did you kind of know, all right, this is gonna be one of those, or you just felt like I just made another good song?
That was I ain't gonna lie. When I made that song, that's when I met Lil Player. Shout out to Player. When I met Player, and the crazy thing is, Player was supposed to be on that song. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be featuring him, but I think I made it and I just didn't send it to him in time, and I just ended up. It was like I'm gonna just drop it right now. But and it was somebody else who had uh who had kind of convinced me to drop it. But yeah. What was I about to say? I'm having a brain fart, bro.
It's okay. It's all good.
But yeah. So when I made it, I was listening to it and I kind of didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't like it because I was like, it's like certain things I'm saying are kind of like they kind of true. Like I know who I'm talking about. I was like, I don't know if I want to put this out, but Play was like, nah, it's a crazy song. Some of my other friends were like, nah, this song is crazy. I was like, all right, bro. And then my other friend, she was like, yeah, this is crazy. So I was like, all right, bet. And then I put it out, and like everybody helped me promote it. Like I think Player was the biggest help at the time because he had like way more followers than me, and
Mm-hmm.
he was promoting it for me. All my friends were promoting it, and it just I don't know. I guess it was just such a relatable song, and it just kind of everybody was just listening to it. But I didn't think it would go viral the way it did. Like it's at like I don't even know. Like altogether, it's probably got like 25 pushing 30 million streams like all together, which is crazy. I never thought that song would do that,
Right.
but
Um.
it's cool.
So how do you? Okay. So I know too. Like a lot of the times with artists who, like you take off online, a lot of times they kind of enter into situations where you're in a bidding war because all the record labels found out about you. So when you joined and signed up to Victor, kind of how did that happen? How did you get on that like wavelength at that point?
I'm not gonna hold you. For the longest time, people would ask me like, "Yo, any labels hit you?" No, like No, before Victor, like before Steven hit me, like nobody, like I promise you, nobody was talking to me. Like all my homies was like, "Yo, thing just hit me, Warner just hit me, Capital just hit me." Nobody was hitting me, and then finally, Capital had hit me, and then I was in LA. I went with somebody to Warner, and they was like, "Oh, don't be don't be fooled. Like they know who you are. They just didn't want to say nothing because we hear from me, this and other." And I didn't really worry about it. I didn't really care like if a label, I didn't really care if a label hit me or not. But the way me and Vic got set up is actually crazy. I can't even really like tell you the whole story because like me and that person, you know what I'm saying. But like it was really kind of like encouraged by somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, yeah, like, cause Steven was talking to him first, and he was like, yo, how much you think Autumn will sign for? And he was like, oh yeah, he probably do this and that, and then he hit me, and he was like, yo, come to New York, like, let's talk, and I was like, I'll do it. I really like Steven because of like who he's cool with. I like his connections. You feel me? Like he has a lot of
Mm-hmm.
good connections. Like people really underestimate him. He's actually like a big thing. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right. No, you're
Like
right.
yeah, he's actually him. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, we was talking and I just kept it real. I was like, yo, look, like I could be something big if you give me that chance, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't talk about money. We didn't talk about, oh, let's do this and that. Like we just talked about music and we talked about how I felt about music, his view on music, his view on the underground, where I see myself going, where he see me going, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a good conversation. And then the next day he pulled up to the hotel. He was like, yo, like I want to sign you. Like let's do this, let's do that. And I was gonna sign for like a major deal, but I ended up doing distribution
Mm-hmm.
just to you know what I'm saying. I want to do a test run, but I don't have no regrets about signing to him. Like everything I didn't do, everything that we done together, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with all the results. You know what I'm saying. One Way went crazy. The album going crazy. We just hit 20 million streams. Like it's going good. So you know what I'm saying. I don't have nothing bad to say. It's a good experience. So you know
Right.
what I'm saying.
And I
That's
think
another thing too. I will say. I mean to cut you off, but that's another thing I
no, go
will say
ahead.
for anybody who wants to sign. If people are sitting there saying like, "Oh, don't sign, like don't do this, don't do that," like if you feel it in your heart that that's a good move, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that was like, "Oh, don't do this, don't do that," but like if I feel a way about something, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm where I'm at. Like it was hella people that told me, "Oh, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that." Like my parents wanted me to go to school and work. I was like, nah, like I'm done with that. Like I'm doing this, and if it don't work, then I'll do what you want me to do. You feel me?
Right.
So do what
Right.
you want to do. It's not over till you feel like it's over. But
Right.
yeah,
And I think too, I you kind of like touched on it, but I think when you said you weren't even really thinking about labels and getting signed and who wanted you, et cetera, et cetera, you were just trying to keep making good songs at that point. And I think
yeah,
you thinking about it that way is kind of why everything started to work out.
yeah. Because I feel like a lot of people. It was a lot of people that signed early. It was a lot of people that like was just worried about the wrong things. Like it was worried about the image. It was worried about, oh, I need to get some diamonds. I need to get a grill. I need to have expensive clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like I promise you, I was in my room every day just recording, trying to make better music than yesterday. Like that's all I was worried about. Like I promise you, bro, I cannot wait until everybody went to school and work so I could sit there and scream them lyrics. I promise. I was in there screaming like y'all don't, yeah. I was in there screaming, bro. Like it was hard to hit some of them notes. For
um,
real.
I know you brought up One Way and of course Antagonist and how both are doing so well right now. Especially, I know I saw I think what was it? Was it either the Apple or Spotify chart you posted Antagonist on? It might have been both.
Apple, it touched. I didn't get to post it, but it touched number 12. No, it touched. No, I did. It touched number 13.
Right.
It touched number 13, and on Spotify, it debuted at number 7.
Right. Which is major.
Thank you.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, I like the album a lot. I definitely was like impressed with it, and I think you kind of there's just a lot of different stuff that you do. You aren't like afraid to try other stuff and kind of like go into the R&B stuff and just make like straight up rap songs and things like that. Like, kind of where does that come from? Where you have the confidence to just be like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. When I go in there, I'm not worried whether it like, I'm not really worried about the reception. I just know that this is it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been like that my whole life. Like it's nothing. I don't know. I'm just the type of person, bro. Like one day, I'm gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't do everything I need to do, then I didn't live my life the way I was supposed to. Like I feel like I know music is my career, but I feel like my purpose in life was really to do well, not really my purpose. My purpose in life was obviously music, but I feel like it was my job to make sure that I do everything I want to do. So it's nothing nobody could tell me like I don't care like if people like, oh, I hate this song, like I'm gonna drop it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drop it. Somebody's gonna listen to it, and if y'all don't listen to it, I'm gonna listen to it. Like I'm just real big on doing what I want because like that mindset has got me so far, not only in music but like being confident in myself and you know what I'm saying, just other endeavors that I have going on. You feel me? So I'm just real big on doing what I want, and eventually somebody gonna catch on. Somebody gonna copy it. Like you can sit there and say you don't like it. You listen to it enough, you gonna like it. So I never really cared. For like certain opinions. Like if you think it's good, thank you. If you don't like it, I didn't even hear what you just said. Like you said you fuck with it. But I promise you. I'm not hearing no bad news.
At what point did you feel like you're like, because I know a lot of artists, especially like rappers, they don't like to look at themselves as, oh, I'm like really popular and like people notice me now. But when was that point where you were like, oh, I'm really out here now? Like my popularity is kind of soaring and people are like seeing me now.
When was this? LA, Box Fest last year for Thanksgiving. I was like, damn, I'm kind of famous. I'm kind of lit. Like, you got people running. My fault. I was on 20%, but yeah, I was like, bro, got people running up to the car. Like, I'm kind of lit. And then, like New York, just a few days ago in New York at my pop-up, it was so many people like I'm pretty sure we was like the only Maybach riding around that day, and so people just knew the car.
Mm-hmm.
And we turn around, there's people running behind the car, and then it was like 5 people. I posted a location for the pop-up. I kid you not, bro. I pressed post. I texted somebody. I looked up. It was 30 people. I turned around, talked to Oliver and Garrett. I turned back around. It's like 100 people. I signed one thing. I look up. It's like 200 people outside. Like, I was like, nah, it's crazy. Then, this the part where I messed up. I was like, yo, I got hoodies in the trunk if y'all want some. They almost broke the trunk. Like, they almost broke it, bro. But nah, like it be stuff like that that make me realize like oh, you like you doing something, like you really doing something. Like I never really look at myself as like famous or a celebrity. Like I don't really like them words.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, it's kind of I feel like it's too much of an ego booster. Like you tell certain people they're famous and they start acting weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I never really wanted to do that, so you know, I just like when people say, I be like, nah, bro, like I'm just doing good for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I know I get that too, because I think just adjusting to that, to how popular you're becoming and, you know, continue to be. I think if somebody's in your face and telling you you're famous all the time, like that's like
yeah, it's like bro, like I ain't even get where I want to get yet. So stop telling me that. Like that's nothing. I ain't get where I want to get. So I feel like you tell certain people that they mindset be like, oh, you made it, you're comfortable. Never get comfortable. It's always a step above the next. You feel me? So
right.
I just always wanted to remain humble. Like anything I could do to keep myself humble, I do it. So that's just how that go.
In your opinion, your words, what are your can't miss songs? Like if somebody had no idea who you were, what would you be like? Listen to these.
All right. can't miss songs. Like if I absolutely had to put somebody on me and they didn't know it was me, still the same. For sure. Still the same. One Way. What's another one? What's a hard song? Probably like Moncleasy, Recollections of Loyalty and Pain. I probably put them on a song that's like meaningful to me, like what my OG told me. Like I put them on something like that, like something that everybody can listen to.
Right.
But if it was a female, I'd probably put them on like Girl from the Club. One Way, Girl from the Club, Euphoria Interlude. I hate that song is so slept on, but it's okay. It's okay. Not a lot of y'all know about it. But nah, I'd probably put them on that.
Somebody in the comments definitely said Euphoria Interlude like right before you said it. I'm sure they're gonna reappear now, but yeah.
Yeah, but like Euphoria, like if I really wanted to put somebody on something, like if they was like, yo, give me a timeless song by Autumn, I give them Euphoria Interlude. I give them that one.
Okay. What's the biggest moment in your career so far?
Biggest moment in my career so far, I had a couple big moments. I think the biggest one was really like setting up a tour by myself and every show sold out. I think that was the biggest one. And then for me to go back and do other shows like the New York one, and that sold out. And I really made history with that show. Like that venue does not host underground artists. I was the first underground artist in the history of the Gramercy Theater to perform and sell out like in the amount of time I did. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to me for that. But that was a really big moment. What else? I think One Way doing what it did so fast without even being out, that was a big moment. But no, I think the tour was the biggest one. Everything else kind of falls in second place. But the tour selling out by myself and the help of my manager / Big Brother Dre, like that was the highlight of it for real.
Yeah, and I get it too because I think you doing the tour and you doing the shows, that shows you and shows everybody just how relevant you are. Like you see it, like you can't fake the shows. Like
you can't fake a fan base. Like everywhere I go, I'm lit. It don't matter if the venue was 100 people or 1,000 people. It's loud. Everybody's singing the words. Like it's lit. You feel me? Like the pop up, 200 people. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you can't fake a fan base. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never really cared about like if my song was just the most viral thing or anything, you know what I'm saying? Like I always wanted to make sure I had longevity, I don't care if my song get 100 million streams in a week. Like I don't like if it take me my whole life for that, that's fine. That means people are still listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like people are still into it years and years later. So
what's something most people don't know about you?
Most people don't know about me? My age. I'm 38.
They've been in your comments arguing your age ever since you said nobody knows your age. They've been in there arguing
exactly.
saying not this.
And you're never gonna know. Actually, mama.
Okay. So just to wrap it up, what you do will be looking out for you. I know you just dropped Antagonist. You putting out more videos, anything. What do you got coming up?
Another tour, videos from songs off the tape. Hella plug and B. I know y'all want plug and B. I got so much for y'all. And then after all that, probably the best I ain't gonna lie. After all that, I'm probably gonna drop the best project of my life that I'll probably ever drop. Everything gonna be Louisiana and Houston inspired. Like straight Louisiana samples, DJ Screw inspirations, like all that stuff, bro.
That sounds hard. Okay.
It's probably gonna be the best thing I ever drop because I'm coming like the weekend on it. It's like I can't even explain it, bro. It's beautiful. If you seen the live, Do you know what I'm talking about?
You don't have to. Hey, look, you don't gotta explain it. Just let it talk. When it come out, like
God, hey,
everybody gonna know
hey,
when it come out.
that's gonna be like my CLB. It's gonna be hard.
I love it. Okay, for sure, man. Well, is there anything you want to throw out there that I didn't ask you? Anything you want to bring up? Anyone you want to shout out? Whatever you want.
Shout out to the whole Victor team. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to my family for believing in me. Shout out to my friends for coming with me everywhere I go. Shout out to all my supporters. Shout out to Double XL. I don't know. I don't really have nothing else to say. I mean, I'm just happy to be where I'm at, and I'm happy to see where I'm gonna be in the future.
For sure, man. Absolutely. Well, thank you. I appreciate the time.
For sure. Y'all have a good day.
All right, for sure. All right, Mama.
All right.